Welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the Grow Family Network. And today we're talking about emergency cooking. I want to make a distinction, right? Not off-grid cooking, it's emergency cooking. And what that means is, we talked about on the last video or 2 videos ago, and we wanted to try to make an effort to try to get you to not use your propane in the emergency setting, not use your propane for anything but heat, and use wood, those renewable resources, for cooking. One thing I want you to know is that it's kind of difficult, but it's not. It's super easy. You can make it really difficult. So we're not going to be talking about off-grid cooking, like making your own fire. Basically, you can kind of search YouTube for how to make fire if you want to go the whole route. But in an emergency situation, you're going to have some kind of matches, some kind of lighter. That's what we're going to do today. Today we're going to use a lighter, and even to make it easier, for those of you, a lot of my beautiful ladies, those of you that really don't want to get into making fire, you want to have some of this. Some kind of fluid that's not like gas that's going to explode and blow you up, but just any little cheap lighter fluid would do, and I'm going to show you why. This is what you want to do to get started. First off, you can see here, I got kind of 3 different types of wood. First off, I got these small pieces. Number 1 rule in outdoor cooking, this is your best friend. These are your best friends. The smaller the pieces, the smaller the pieces are, that's the better, right? Smaller the better. This is what's gonna start your fire. This is what's gonna give you the fire, gonna give you the heat to heat up your pot, your grease, your water, whatever you're cooking. It comes from this. It comes from these. It's always the small ones. Second step, once you get those small ones going, you go up a little bit in size. These are gonna hold some of that heat. This is gonna give you a longer burn where you don't have to keep adding the small ones and the small ones, but you need the small ones burning first to get that fire. Lastly, after you're using these, every now and then, this is the biggest size wood you ever gonna put on the outdoor cooking. Unless I don't know, unless you maybe doing something else, but this is it. This is basically the biggest pieces of wood you want to use, and these are going to feed this stove. Now at the end of the video, I'm going to show you where to get this stove. This stove costs $50. It's called a clay stove. If you've never heard of it and you've been wanting to know where to get them, I'm going to show you where to get them. Basically, I'll show you the aisle. I'll show you how to get around the Asian stores, where to look. Basically an Asian supermarket. You can pick one of those up. They do have some smaller ones for $30. This is the biggest one. It's $50. The next size down is $30. The next size down is like $22, $21. I'm gonna show you how to get this fire started. Come on in here. So the easiest thing to do is get you a small piece, a couple of small pieces, and break them up. Make sure they're dry. The reason why I tell you about small pieces of wood, because even after a rain, your smaller pieces of wood are going to be the first pieces to dry. If you try to use those bigger pieces, they're going to be too wet to even burn. So you want to start off with the smallest pieces. I got to show you how it looks inside here. Let me just put a couple in, then I'll show you. It's just a clay stove. It actually has little holes in it to let the flame breathe from the bottom, and then you can collect your ash out of this bottom part. Okay, so you can get, I'm gonna use this one. This one is really dry. I'm gonna use this one. Basically, I'm gonna put a little bit of starter fluid on it. Okay, that's gonna hold your flame as long as you need it to before you have to add anything. Just a little flame, and you see it's burning. Okay, go ahead and set it in there. Now the rest of your smaller sticks, you can move that to the side. The rest of your smaller sticks is going to basically just, you add them and wait. Add them and wait. Smaller the better. Smaller you can break these, the better. Once I get them to start catching, then I'm in business. So they're starting to catch now. Get some real small, get some real tiny ones. See these? You barely can see that. That's what you want. You want something real tiny like that. Now, it has to be continuously fed. What we have right here is, this is going to help you to feed it. You want to take this part off, and this is going to help you to feed it while the pot is on. This is the pot back here, and I'll show you where to get that pot as well. So you just want to go through, make sure you got some really good, really dry sticks. Until it gets that heat, it's not going to keep burning continuously. That's where those small sticks come in at. Number one rule is not just the lighter fluid. Now if you want it, you could just keep dousing it with lighter fluid, but we are trying to be a little sustainable by using as less of that product as we can. You don't need to use the lighter fluid. That was just something I was showing you for people that don't know how to make fire. Okay, you can actually, get some paper out of your house, light the paper on fire, set it in there, and start putting in those smaller sticks. It's real easy. And I just want to feed it for a while. We're not ready to cook right now, even though it's a good flame on there. We're not ready to cook right now. Basically, the fire is going. It's built the heat that it needs. I love the way these clay stoves are with all the holes in the bottom. You can make these, but for people that have $50 and you don't want to go through going to Home Depot or Lowe's and buying the concrete and figuring out the diagram and how to pour the concrete and mix the concrete, this comes already made for you for $50. I wouldn't get this on Amazon. It's about 40 pounds. The shipping, unless you maybe have Prime, I don't think they sell it on Amazon actually. You'll have to go to an Asian market to get it. This is actually the clay. It's known to, it holds heat. It's kind of like a fireplace type of brick. It's ready right now. You can cook anything on here. So once you got the fire going, what's the next step? How do you keep it hot? How do you keep it hot? If it starts to go down, keep your small sticks. If your fire starts to go down, keep your small sticks handy. That's going to help you build the fire back up quicker. Now you want to talk about heat. What's going to give me that heat? That's going to be these. The small sticks burn so fast, you're going to be adding back to back to back. If you want to kind of slow down how much wood you're adding, that's where this is going to come into place. That's where you're going to start putting in. And the way this works is you don't put the whole stick in, okay? You want to put it right on the edge, and I'm going to show you that in a second. Right on the edge, you're going to let a little bit of that burn, and then you'll push more in. So put a few right on the edge. So you can see how I'm using this little lip where this piece comes from. This piece just sets down in there. After you get cooking, after you get going, you basically just set this piece down in there. I don't know why it's out of focus, but this piece here just sets down in there. Now I got it going. Add more wood, little smaller wood, like I said, smaller pieces. Smaller pieces is where the fire is. Bigger pieces give you a little bit more heat. All right, so now that we got everything going, we can set our wok. Like I said, you can use the cast iron skillet or the wok. And you can see already the steam is coming. Just a little bit of water helping from sticking. Or oil.
We're gonna put all the water in there.
Now, you saw how that just kind of, well, you probably couldn't see, but some of it kind of just fell out there, one of the sticks. As the sticks burn off, you want to keep continuing to add. And then you kind of watch your flame from here. The most important thing to do at this point is just basically monitor your flames. I'm getting a little wind blowing now. Right now would be the perfect time to push it on in some more. Push it in some more, let that burn. The name of the game at this point is feed the fire. Feed the fire. And Bev just said let the stove eat. So you want to feed those flames as much of these sticks as you can. Now you can kind of mix in the bigger sticks with the baby sticks. Remember, the baby sticks is what's going to get your flame going. The bigger sticks is what's going to hold your heat. Right now, you could actually conserve some of your real small skinny sticks and use some that's a little bit bigger because you have your heat going. And use the smallest sticks you have for starting the fire next time.
And also, it's like not that smoky.
Yeah, and as you can see, look how close I am to the fire. It's not like choking me out because it's clean burning, because it's sucking in so much air from the bottom. As you can see from this bottom section, it's sucking in so much air that's keeping everything burning so rich that it's not really smoking at all. Getting a little smoke if we let it die down, but as long as we let it keep burning rich, we're not seeing any of that heavy smoke. You may be wondering, I can't cook outside because I don't have the log splitters and I don't have these huge logs. You don't want the huge logs to cook outside. I'm gonna show you what you want. Basically, last year's droppings from the tree. This small stuff. This is what you want. You want this really small stuff. Over here, gets a little bit bigger. Now, I got this because this kind of makes it a little bit easier for you. If you get a rake and you go under a tree and basically just rake up. Remember, if it's rain, the smaller sticks is what's gonna dry first. Perfect, because that's what you want. We get in here and get these small sticks. And you can use some of these old leaves. This is really gonna just help you get a fire going. You can use some of the old leaves. And just pick up a branch. Let me show you. We're gonna go over here. It's time to add some more. How do you do it? How do you do it? Basically, I don't really want to put this in now. I saved this and I can just put it right here in case I really need it to get a fire going. That's like paper. But these little small sticks, I want to push some of these on in. And basically you just feed your fire. Smaller the better. Remember that. #1 rule. You can't start a fire and you're like, man, even if you're trying to barbecue outside, and people always talk about, I ain't worried about no electricity, I'll cook outside. Really? Are you? With what? Wet wood? Green wood? You're not. So even when you're trying to barbecue, it's hard to get those logs and those pieces of wood started is because they're too big. You need the smaller pieces. You need those smaller pieces. Look at that flame. Come look inside of that. Come look inside of that. I actually had to cut some of my bay tree today. So what we'll do is Bells just threw some of the leaves up in there. Something's kind of affecting it. The leaves are turning brown on some of the branches and look like something was kind of digging in. That's why I cut the branches, Beverly. Cause you was, who cut my tree? Who cut my tree? That's why I cut it. Now, look, check this out. A longer piece. You're scared of getting burned. A longer piece. Use the longer piece to push this fire, push these little sticks in. Don't stick your hand up there. Somebody's probably looking at me like, oh my God, Mr. Grow, don't do it. Don't stick your hand in there. Just use a longer piece of stick. We're gonna let this cook a little bit and we'll probably be right back. Maybe in about, how long is this gonna take to cook, you think?
An hour and 45 minutes.
Oh, cause it's beef. That means she's gonna have me out here. Why you didn't choose something that was 20 minutes? Why you didn't choose something that was 15, 20 minutes? All right. So that means I'm gonna have to be out here for an hour doing this. Now, granted, I'm gonna get some time to break because what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna take one this size. It's looking like it's dry. I'm hoping that it's all the way dry. I'm gonna add this one on the side. Even if it's not dry, the heat's gonna dry it out. The heat's gonna get to it, dry it out, and just leave it to the side. An hour, you're gonna need something a little bit bigger, and that's just to hold the heat. This is what you want for the flame. I'm gonna get some more of these. So as you can tell, we got a whole bunch of branches lying around. Don't wait until you need to learn how to do this to do it. Start practicing now. Start taking out your prep equipment now. Going through 1 or 2 cycles on everything you have, every prep thing you have. Don't just think it's gonna work, because if you think you know how to cook outside, you're gonna find out, even though you know how to cook, you don't have no dry wood. And you can't cook without it. So this is the time to start putting up these little bit of pieces. Start putting up these little sticks somewhere, finding anywhere to put them up, just to have enough to get one meal at least. And then you can, once you're cooking that, you can kind of start drying out other wood in case of emergency. But the most important thing is getting some dry wood ready right now. Finding a place to store your wood right now. Don't wait till later. Don't wait till you need it. Don't wait till death to get a doctor. My dad used to say that. So we're gonna let this cook for a little while and then we'll be right back. So don't miss us. So it take too long to waste
the gas. Yeah. And gas is higher.
been good, cooking good. Kind of forget that in the winter time it gets dark so early. It's actually like 5:28, and it's already like kind of getting dark out here. This girl actually been having me feeding this fire for about an hour plus. I think we started at what, 4 or something, or what?
3 something. It's already soft.
Yeah. So one thing Bells was saying was that in her country, usually when people are cooking beef, something that takes a long time to cook, like meat, they would rather cook it outside on the open fire because it saves a lot of gas. If we were using propane, this would be an hour and a half worth of propane being burned, when we could actually just come here and
Sit down, chill out.
yeah, sit down, chill out. We kind of just been chilling, doing nothing but just sitting here chilling. In emergency situation, you probably won't have many places to go. Martial law situation, you probably won't have many places to go. But you probably can be able to stay on your land, on your property, and just chill out. So this is just something you learn. So then she's cutting up the cabbage right now. So you put the meat in first, then you put the corn in after about an hour or so. And the potatoes are in already?
Yeah, put the potato.
Okay, she's put the potatoes in. Let y'all get a look at that. Nice.
Put the bok choy.
Bok choy
that we
last
got
one.
from the garden. Look at that.
Maybe this is how it's done. Maybe this is how it's done. Nice soup up in there. I've been feeding this fire like I don't know what. So we've been adding water. Water been boiling out. And all we gotta do is just keep feeding it. Just keep feeding it. Time for another. Push that in there. Put that right on top of it. Just like that.
We're putting the greens in here. This is the bok choy from our garden. And then that's it. Ready?
I want something else in my bowl.
You want something else on your bowl?
Yeah. I want some corn in my bowl.
Hello guys.
Alright, so this part of the video is where we're just gonna show you all where to go, where to get this. I wouldn't try to get it online because of the weight of it. I think is about, what you say, about 40 pounds?
40 pounds, yeah.
Yeah, so it got a little weight to it. So I wouldn't try to go and order this off of Amazon or anything. Just if you find a store like this, just walk in and walk around. We're gonna try to show you where to go to get this kind of product. So let's park, and then we're gonna go inside and show you exactly where it's at. All right, so here's where we are. I don't know if y'all can even see that far. So it's so anyway, Asian supermarket. It's so
It's
like blinding.
Light.
Okay, right here. All right, so you can see it. Asian supermarket. This is where we at. This is where we're gonna go to get all of this Oriental type, Asian type of cooking things. So let's go out this. So basically, go in the store, look for the cooking section. You can kind of start to see a lot of your colanders, a lot of the pots. In this particular store, you can see a lot of the cooking foods.
You also have have the deep fryer, when you have like cooking on a big thing, you just have to put the fries and chicken in there and cook your chicken. They have a cool thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the same thing.
Nice.
The ice shape. When you're making halo halo.
Ah.
So, yeah, this is how they use.
And it's not even that high either.
Oh,
So if you need us like making halo halo, so those people that asking for halo halo, this is the best thing to buy when you're making like halo halo. So you just shake the ice.
All right. So as you come back, you can come back here, and you'll see this is where the clay stoves are.
Yes.
So there's a small one,
This one is probably a little cheaper, but
$21.99.
this is the $21.99.
Oh, okay.
This is the
So-
$21.99, and I think this might be a
That
lot
might
like
be about
$15.
18 or 15.
Yeah, so
Mm.
they had 3 different sizes
No, this one is $21.99 for that one,
right there.
and then this one is $29.99.
Oh,
And because the 15-inch is $29.99, the small 13-inch is $21.99, and this one should be about what? What'd you say?
$50.
About? Yeah. This one is $50 for the big one. This is the one we have.
Better get the big one than the small one. Get
Unless
the
you,
chip, yeah.
but it's easier to carry that small one around.
Yes.
So
That's
that is. But I don't know what the size of that one is. So I would say if that one is 13, this one is 15. This one got to be 17 or 18.
They don't want the size too.
Yeah. I think it was about 18 inches. I think we saw.
Like I think this one the bread.
Watch out the way, y'all. Let us pass.
Sorry.
So pick up that small one. Let's see what the weight is on that one. What do you think? About how many pounds?
Maybe this is like 13. Probably 15 pounds.
15 pounds? This one?
15 to 20 pounds for this one.
So that's it, guys. That's where you come. That's where you get these clay stoves at. You can see there's plenty of them, and there'll probably be plenty of them in your area, in your neck of the woods. Oh, and the woks. Let's go check out the woks so we can show them the woks to put on top of this. So this is all the plates and the bowls, and of course you have all.
This one right there, they got different sizes. They got this one for $30, but this is thick. Like that's the thick one, and they have the small one.
Another one with the iron handle, all iron.
Yes, and this is $20, but this like a deep wok, but it's a smaller size. But we got the big one. I think this one we got.
We got one of these big ones, but you can just use. Yesterday I was actually just using a cast iron skillet, and you can get I think that was like $30.
This is $30.
Yeah, for the wok. Cast iron skillets at Walmart cost about $20 for the big cast iron skillet. So you might want to try the cast iron skillet. They don't really burn as easily as a lot of these little thin woks.
I think the woks is just for you to like stir
real
fry,
quick. Yeah.
quick cooking, or you probably gonna be doing like steaming and stuff. And you wanna have the big wok.
Yeah, but you want to do some hard cooking and frying, get you one of those. Go to Walmart, get the what I just said, cast iron skillets, and you'll be fine. So that's it for this part of the video. If y'all wanted to know where to get this stuff from,
they eat noodles like the noodles.
this is where to get all that cool stuff from for these. And the prices are never that bad too at these stores.
Yes.
So thank y'all for watching, and as always, grow.
Peace.